It's a real honor to speak today. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm happy to be back among the money people. I've become a storyteller, but I enjoy being back among the money people. So first of all, to say that it's great to be here. It's nice to see a good full room and more people coming. And just to say that it's amazing that we're now making great traction and hosting the first African conference, REIT Africa conference. So before we start, maybe let's see who has arrived from outside the Kenya. Could you just raise your hands? Oh, look at that, look at that. Lovely, let's give them a clap. So it's truly an African conference, isn't it? So we are really appreciative for that. And I believe at some point we will congregate in countries and, take pictures so that we can actually have a record of who came from where. Great. I don't know how to mention it, but I must say I'm overwhelmed that we have received guests from outside Kenya. So QS, Cassius Kuisenya, representing Charles Hinga, who was a principal secretary and was expected, but owing to exigencies of duty, I'm advised he's unable to come. Justice Ogoti from the CMA, representing Mr. Shamia. In the room, we have the former CMA CEO, Paul Mudaura. Maybe, Paul, you can raise your hand. Paul was my regulator for many years. That's why I'm giving him the privilege. Now he's now not on the front row. Okay, great. Industry partners, international visitors, speakers who will be speaking at these panels, members of the REITs Association of Kenya, sponsors, and really thank you sponsors for making this happen, including the Nation Media Group. You didn't mention us, Mr. Corey. It's okay. Members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think Paul has captured the spirit of the meeting, and I won't sort of repeat what he said. But for us, this is actually a great honor to have host you here for the 4th Africa REITs conference. And we believe that this conference will continue to serve as a platform for investors, operators, and capital market leaders to engage on opportunities and challenges shaping Africa's real estate investment landscape. We believe these conversations are important, and they provide us with proper background and commercial grounding on how we should execute our mandates in this sector. I think when we introduced this REITs market in 2017, there was a bit of what I called it anxiety on whether we are doing the right thing. People felt that the NSC was being too aggressive and trying to introduce too many products, but there was nothing else happening in the market. The macros in the country were tough, the markets were down. The only thing we could do was to invest in future opportunities. And to see over 6 REITs today in Kenya is an attestament to the heavy grounding that was done back in the day. And today we are happy to see this happen. We learned a lot from our partners in South Africa, in India, in the US, and that has made us today a leading market as a country. So we meet at an inflection point for the REITs industry on this continent. Over the past decade, the priority has been to establish REIT regimes and regulatory frameworks. And today we're happy to say that the proof of concept has been demonstrated by seeing the number of REITs that have come up in the continent. So the question is no longer whether REITs work. It's how far and how fast we can scale, just repeating what Gift Corey said. And the data has been shared. For industry leaders, the focus is clear that unlocking liquidity, driving operational efficiency, improving asset quality, and delivering consistent risk-adjusted returns remain a key imperative for the performance of funds. At the same time, there's need to align with global capital through enhanced transparency, stronger governance, and structures that meet international investor expectations. Africa's urbanization, demographic growth, and infrastructure needs present compelling long-term investment case for REITs as a unique opportunity to help actualize this. when we visited the REITs Association in the US, it was really, really eye-opening to see that REITs can actually take different shapes, not just property, but we could have infrastructure, water, farmlands, and Hilda, remember? We could say anything is REITable. That's what we said at the end of the day. So you can see this is becoming a key thing. So with this theme of this conference, I think it reflects the priorities that are required to move from early stage to mature, investable asset classes. So where the REITs market on the continent? So we see meaningful progress happening. Foundational regulatory frameworks are now in place. Restructures have moved from concept to execution, and the broader ecosystem comprising of managers, trustees, advisors, valuers, and regulators has matured significantly. We also see encouraging momentum in capital formation. Institutional investor participation is steadily increasing, while developers are showing increased interest in REITs as a strategic vehicle to recycle capital and to scale their portfolios beyond the constraints of traditional funding. At the continental level again, we see more jurisdictions are actively reviewing and refining their REIT frameworks, stock exchanges are becoming more facilitative, and policymakers are increasingly recognizing REITs as a critical pillar in deepening capital markets. That said, the journey is far from complete. REITs markets across Africa remain relatively small when benchmarked against the scale of underlying real estate assets globally. Liquidity constraints also persist in several markets, while policy, tax, and structural inefficiencies continue to limit broader adoption. In addition, gaps in data availability, benchmarking standards, and overall market transparency remains areas that require focused attention. A lot of work still pending, and that's why these conversations have to happen. One of the important takeaways from these conversations is that it does help inform policy. A lot of governments use these outcomes to then agree or understand on some of the changes they need to do. And I think for Kenya, significantly, we're still pursuing the issues around taxation, which I believe hearing from other jurisdictions will be important in getting us to, and that's why our QS is here as part of government to have these takeaways so that we can help enhance the REIT market. So one of the clearest lessons, by the way, this is not a masterclass, so don't be too serious. I'm just reading a speech that was written, and I have to read it. So, okay, attention, it's a masterclass. So one of the clearest lessons from more mature REIT markets is that growth is underpinned by policy environments that are clear, consistent, and supportive. As Africa looks to scale its REITs markets, sustained focus on policy and regulatory refinement will be essential. And this includes tax clarity, enabling a broader range of REIT structures that are suited to local dynamics, facilitating deeper participation for pension and institutional capital, and supporting cross-border investment flows. I think one of the exciting discussions I hope to hear, and I've had it before, is from Zimbabwe, who have borrowed a lot of our policies and have actually seen the challenges we have and resolved those, and these are facilitated faster issuances of REITs. Is our Zimbabwean friend in town? Oh, yeah. Oh, certainly. Yes, you're here. Let's give a clap. I think we are ahead of you now, but anyway, we'll get to here. At the same time, transparency remains a critical enabler of market confidence. Capital is naturally drawn to environments where data is available, benchmarks are established, and reporting is consistent. Strengthening market infrastructure through initiatives such as the development of Africa REITs Index and market dashboards alongside the introduction of the REITs best practice guidelines will be key to enhancing disclosure standards, governance, valuation consistency, and overall market discipline. Greater transparency not only improves investor confidence, but also helps to create a more accurate price risk, helps to more accurately price risk, thereby supporting capital formation. Finally, global alignment will also play a pivotal role in unlocking international capital, investment decisions are increasingly being made on the basis of this across markets. And these alignments to global standards are very important if we are to get the REITs market to where it is. So the opportunity for Africa lies in thoughtfully adapting international best standards and adapting them and formatting them to local contexts, ensuring they make them more relevant and credible, while positioning the continent as increasingly attractive destination for long-term capital. So REITs have got a big role in Africa. There's increased urbanization, increased development of infrastructure, and hence we would like to see how this is taken forward. We believe that they'll remain strategic enablers for economic development, and hence REITs can play a very transformative role in mobilizing long-term capital into priority sectors, such as urban infrastructure, green buildings, institutional housing, healthcare, student accommodation, logistics, and data centers. And all these are very evident by the examples you see today. So we believe that the benefits of REITs are a lot. I don't want to go into that and think there'll be a lot to be said by the various panels. But this, we believe, will also provide better pathways and learnings for the day. So the story of Africa REITs is unfolding. And whereas we're early stage, I think there's immense opportunity being presented. We have the advantage of building with intent and shaping the REIT market through our current foundations and ensuring that we create a global best standard REITs market for the continent. I believe that if we effectively execute this, the upside will be great. We'll unlock more capital and also deepen the domestic market. So as I close, I want to first of all say thank you all of you for making time to be here. It's going to be a very, very exciting day, and I believe the panels will be interesting. There'll be a lot of speakers and a lot to learn, and a lot of fun, I believe, at the end of the day. So let's network, let's engage, and let's enjoy the Africa REITs Conference 2026. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Oh yeah, and don't forget to read the Business Daily. I need to mention that. Thank you. You know, I have to protect my job, right?